Would you rather earn $50,000 a year while everyone else earns $25,000? Or would you rather earn $100,000 a year while everyone else earns $200,000? Mathematically, the answer is obvious. You should choose the $100,000. It is double the money. You can buy twice as much food, twice as much house, and twice as much freedom. But that is not what people chose. The majority of people chose the first option. They preferred to earn less money, as long as they earned more than their neighbors. They were willing to pay a $50,000 ego tax just to feel superior. This is the psychology of envy, and it is the single most expensive emotion in the human experience. Envy is not just a feeling. It is a financial parasite. It forces you to make decisions that destroy your wealth, simply to maintain your status in the hierarchy. To understand why we do this, we have to look at our evolutionary history. For millions of years, status was survival. If you were the lowest ranking member of the tribe, you ate last. You got the worst mate. You were the most likely to die in the winter. So, we evolved a hypersensitive radar for relative position. We don't care how much we have. We only care how much we have compared to the person standing next to us. This mechanism worked well when we lived in tribes of 150 people. You only had to compare yourself to 149 others. But today, you are living in a global tribe of 8 billion people. And thanks to social media, you are constantly comparing your behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. This creates a phenomenon called relative deprivation. You can be in the top 1% of global earners, living in a heated house with a refrigerator full of food, and still feel poor because you saw a 19-year-old on Instagram driving a Lamborghini. Your brain ignores your absolute wealth and focuses entirely on your relative lack. This is why envy is the engine of the modern economy. The entire luxury industry is built on it. They don't sell products, they sell superiority. When you buy a $10,000 watch, you aren't buying a device to tell time. Your phone does that for free. You are buying a signal that says, I am winning the game. But here is the trap. The game has no finish line. There is always a bigger boat. There is always a faster car. There is always a younger billionaire. If your satisfaction depends on being better than others, you are destined for a lifetime of misery. So, how does envy keep you poor? It forces you to overspend on visible assets while underinvesting in invisible assets. Visible assets are things people can see. Cars, clothes, houses, jewelry. These are depreciating assets. They lose value the moment you buy them. Invisible assets are things people cannot see. Stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, peace of mind. These are appreciating assets. They grow over time. Envy screams at you to buy visible assets. It wants you to show the tribe that you are successful. So you take the money that should have gone into your 401k and you put it into a lease payment on a Range Rover. You look rich, but you are becoming poorer every single day. This is the high-income trap. We see doctors and lawyers who make massive salaries but have zero net worth. Why? Because they are in a status competition with other doctors and lawyers. They have to live in the right neighborhood. They have to join the right country club. They have to send their kids to the right private school. They are running a race that costs them everything they earn. But the most dangerous form of envy isn't about stuff. It's about timeline envy. You look at your friend who started a business and sold it for millions at age 25. You look at your cousin who bought Bitcoin at the right time. You feel like you are falling behind. You feel like you missed the boat. This triggers FOMO, fear of missing out. And FOMO is the father of bad investments. Because you are envious of their speed, you try to take shortcuts. You gamble on risky stocks. You buy into get-rich-quick schemes. You try to force the result. And usually, you lose everything. Warren Buffett said, "It is not greed that drives the world, but envy." He understands that the urge to catch up is the fastest way to fall down. So, how do we cure this? How do we turn off the envy engine and reclaim our financial sanity? We have to shift from an external scorecard to an internal scorecard. An external scorecard is defined by the world. It asks, do people admire me? Do I look successful? An internal scorecard is defined by you. It asks, am I doing what I said I would do? Am I free? Am I happy? When you operate on an internal scorecard, you become immune to envy. You don't care if your neighbor has a nicer car because your goal isn't have the nicest car. Your goal is have the most freedom, and his car payment is actually reducing his freedom. Here is the 3-step protocol to kill envy before it kills your bank account. Step 1, the unfollow and audit. Your feed is your diet. If you eat junk food, you get sick. If you consume envy bait, you get depressed. Go through your Instagram and TikTok. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel poor. Unfollow the influencers flexing cash. Unfollow the luxury lifestyle accounts. Replace them with accounts that teach you skills. Replace them with accounts that focus on nature or art or humor. Remove the stimulus and the reaction disappears. Step 2, the cost of the life calculation. When you envy someone, you are usually envying a single slice of their life. You envy the car or the vacation. But you can't just take the slice. You have to take the whole pie. If you want the CEO's salary, you have to take his stress, his 80-hour work weeks, his blood pressure medication, and his strained relationship with his family. If you want the influencer's body, you have to take their strict diet, their hours in the gym, and their obsession with their image. When you look at the whole package, you usually realize, I don't actually want their life, I just want their highlight reel. This realization breaks the spell. Step 3, define your rich life. Ramit Sethi has a concept called your rich life. It means defining exactly what luxury means to you, ignoring what society says. Maybe your rich life is buying expensive coffee every day, but driving a 10-year-old car. Maybe your rich life is traveling 4 times a year, but living in a small apartment. Maybe your rich life is working 3 days a week and spending the rest of the time painting. Once you define this, you can spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. You stop competing with your neighbor because you are playing a completely different game. Envy is a distraction. It is a thief. It steals your joy, but more importantly, it steals your focus. Every minute you spend looking at someone else's plate is a minute you aren't eating your own food. The only comparison that matters is you versus you yesterday. Are you wealthier than you were last year? Are you wiser than you were last year? Are you freer than you were last year? If the answer is yes, you are winning. It doesn't matter if someone else is winning faster. It doesn't matter if someone else is winning louder. Wealth is quiet. Envy is loud. Turn down the volume. Focus on your own paper and watch your net worth grow.